Frontier set themselves, even from the highest position up, they truly believe that this has to be a game developed together with the community. I think it's a very nice move of a company, of a development company, to get people in, give them a voice, and allow them to really speak out their heart. Develop together with the community. Develop together with the community. Develop together with the community.
Oh, really? Is that what they're wanting to do? Hey everyone, Chris here from Phoenix Builds. It is November now. October is said and done. The spooky season, the time when theme parks come alive with haunted houses, pumpkins, fog, everything creepy and fun. It would have been the perfect time of the year for Planet Coaster 2 to really shine. But we didn't get a spooky pack. Not even a port of the one from the first game. And honestly, at this point, I'm not sure Frontier is actually listening to the community like they say they are or say they want to. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. There are some feelings that I need to get off my chest, and honestly, I know this is probably going to upset a few people. But I also know there are a lot of players out there who feel exactly the same way that I do. And those are the people that I want to talk to right now. The ones who see through all the corporate mumbo jumbo and marketing spin. The ones who are tired of being told, "We're listening," while watching the same mistakes happen over and over again. There are really three kinds of people who are going to watch this video. First, the ones who see what I see. The ones who are just frustrated and as disappointed as I am right now. And then there's the ones who eat up every single thing that Frontier says. The ones who see them through rose-colored glasses, like they can do no wrong. And those people, yeah, they're probably going to be pretty mad that I'm even daring to criticize anything with this game. And third, there are the people who may not agree with everything I say, but they understand where I'm coming from. They get that this frustration comes from a place of love for the game, and that the players should be able to voice their opinions, whether you agree with them or not. So with that said, let's talk about what's really going on here. So before we even get into the whole spooky mess, let's rewind a bit, because Planet Coaster 2 didn't exactly launch in the greatest shape. This was one of the roughest releases that I've seen for a sequel to such a beloved game. I mean, maybe even possibly worse than City Skylines 2. An absolutely horrible launch for something that was supposed to carry on the Planet Coaster legacy. The game was full of bugs, missing features, missing fan favorite rides from the first game. It crashed constantly for a lot of players, ran poorly for others, and for many, it was just plain unplayable. And for some people who could play it, a lot of them, they just didn't want to. It felt unfinished, like a game that needed more time in the oven before anyone should have been paying full price for it. I mean, honestly, this game should have been released as, early access or something. And then, just to make things worse, Frontier decided to launch with a day one DLC. Stuff that absolutely should have been part of the base game was suddenly locked behind an extra paywall. And that kind of rubbed people the wrong way, especially when the base game already felt so bare bones. But it didn't stop there. A few weeks later, Frontier put the game on sale. So everyone who pre-ordered or bought it on day one and paid like a huge price for it, the die-hard fans who believed in Frontier from the start, like me, well, they got undercut immediately. We didn't just feel disappointed, we felt cheapened, robbed. Like we had paid for a premium ticket and then found out that everyone else got in for half price. To Frontier's credit, they have spent most of the first year trying to fix things. Lots of patches, performance updates, free content. And yeah, the game is in a much better place now that it was at launch. But let's be honest, that's been a year of damage control. They've spent 12 months trying to earn back trust from the same community that carried the first game's success. So now, when the game finally feels stable, when players are excited again and ready for seasonal content, what does Frontier do? They completely missed the easiest win imaginable, a Halloween-themed update. Something that we literally told them we wanted. So this disappointment didn't just come out of nowhere. Back in late August, going into kind of early September or so, Frontier started teasing their next DLC. Nothing major, just some screenshots on social media, but one of them showed a park guest wearing a shirt covered in skulls. And that is all it took for the community to start speculating. People thought maybe, just maybe, we were getting something spooky for Halloween. The timing made perfect sense. Fall was coming up, the community was already itching to make haunted rides, creepy plazas, autumn-themed builds. I mean, it seemed like everything was lining up for the Halloween-themed DLC release. And then Frontier revealed what the DLC actually was. The Sorcery Pack. So, the Sorcery Pack was finally released, and to be fair, it's really good. The rides are pretty creative. The architecture pieces, I mean, they're good. They did a great job on everything that's in the pack. But it's not spooky. It's like dollar store Harry Potter. A few gothic arches and fog effects, a cute little spider. That doesn't make it Halloween. It's wizards and enchantments, not pumpkins, haunted houses, or skeleton animatronics. For a community that was ready to deck their parks out for the season, it was a total misfire. We wanted ghosts and cobwebs, not broomsticks and spell books. No matter how many of the content creators out there that got their hands on it early so they could spread the word and all the great things about this DLC for Frontier tried to say that this was a great spooky replacement, it was not. Now, around the same time that all that was happening, a few of Frontier's regular creators that they love working with started sharing things on social media that they'd been invited to visit Frontier's offices. They shared selfies, pictures from the studio, little teases like, "We can't say much yet, but we got to see some exciting stuff." Naturally, people in the community were curious. But now it's been almost 2 months later, and we still have no idea what that meeting was actually about, other than to hype up the game just a little bit, get people talking about it, with no actual payoff. None of the attendees that were there have shared any real details, just vague, "It was such a great experience" post, or "We saw some cool things for the future." And that's where it's ended. No roadmap, no concrete information, no follow-up for the rest of the community. And just to make things even weirder, one of the creators who got invited had previously said they would never play Planet Coaster 2 again after talking awful about it when it first came out, and they didn't get one of the DLCs from free, so they said they weren't going to play it anymore. They got invited. They came back from that, went and made a video about how the game's improving, and then still haven't touched the game. No videos since that. So whatever that trip was supposed to accomplish, it definitely wasn't about keeping the larger player base informed. Now, even after the Sorcery Pack launched, some of us were still hopeful. We thought, okay, maybe they'll give us something spooky in early or mid-October. It didn't have to be big. Just bringing back the original Spooky Pack, maybe as a small paid DLC for like, I don't know, $5 or something. Or even as a free seasonal update. That would have been the best thing to do, and it would have made people ecstatic. Maybe a few new props or rides to hold us over during the month of chills and thrills. Something. Anything. It wasn't hard to see that that's what people wanted. Players across Reddit, Twitter, Discord, everywhere else were talking about it nonstop. I myself even started a suggestion thread on their official Discord, and it ended up getting more upvotes than almost any other suggestion on there. It was obvious to everyone, except apparently Frontier, what the community wanted. Halloween content, the spooky vibes, the chance to celebrate the season in-game the same way that real parks do. Now, of course, there are some people out there who are defending Frontier. They'll say, well, the Sorcery Pack is spooky, and hey, everyone's entitled to their opinion, even wrong ones. There's absolutely no way that sorcery is spooky. It's magical, not macabre. There's a difference between mystical fantasy and Halloween horror. Then there's another group who'll say, well, no one would buy the old Spooky Pack again anyway. We already had that in Planet Coaster 1. Nobody's going to pay money for it again. And again, you are wrong. So many people were asking for this. Just all you had to do was open your eyes and look. Not just returning players, but think about all the new players that never played Planet Coaster 1. Every single week on Reddit, you just have to look really at any time, and you will see people asking, should I buy Planet Coaster 2 or Planet Coaster 1? And the lack of the Spooky Pack has deprived players, new and old, of some truly great building pieces. Even stuff that wasn't strictly Halloween themed, like fences, trims, lights, props, wallpaper even, were incredibly useful in everyday builds. I would even go as far as to say that the Spooky DLC should probably be considered as one of the main themes of Planet Coaster 1, the same way as Western Fantasy, etc. At the end of the day, more scenery pieces are always a good thing. More options to build with, more creativity, more content. So here's what I want you to do. Go boot up Planet Coaster 1. Take a good long look at the original Spooky Pack. Really look at everything that came with it, all those pieces, the detail, the atmosphere. And then you come back and you tell me again how Sorcery Pack is Spooky 2.0. And then, with all of this going on, with everybody asking for a new Spooky Pack or return of the old one, I mean, everywhere people were just asking for this. It's what we wanted. And just when things couldn't get even more ironic, Frontier posts this Halloween creation contest. A contest asking players to make spooky builds in a game that doesn't have spooky pieces. It's like hosting a pumpkin carving contest, but then forgetting to give people pumpkins. That post went up across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, Discord. Every single one of them got flooded with comments from players saying the exact same thing. We want a Spooky Pack. It's the most tone-deaf thing that they could have done. Show us your spooky builds, Frontier says. Great. Give us something to do that with. The replies on these posts, every single time they posted something about this contest, was full of people pointing it out. Hundreds of them. And yet, total silence from Frontier.
I can guarantee you they allowed us to really give feedback. Like, really give the feedback they need. They don't need people pleasing from us. They don't need to say, oh, that's so great, you know, everything has been amazing from the beginning. Oh, super, yeah, it's just a little hiccup. No way.
Poor Rudy Rinkelmel. You know, I do kind of hate picking on him. Me and him have argued in the past, though, over him white knighting Frontier. Now, don't get me wrong. Rudy's incredibly talented and creative. His builds are amazing, and I'll give him full credit for that. But his problem is, he's the biggest shill there is for this company. If you're going to grip onto that company line like it's an oxygen hose so tightly, you want so badly to be the face of this company that you'll spout their lies and keep their secrets, then yeah, this is kind of what comes with it, alright? Rudy's always out there defending every single thing that Frontier does. Never really saying anything negative, always hyping them up. Like that little clip there from his recent video about the creator meeting they had, talking about how Frontier wants to hear not just the good, but the bad things too. Sure, right. That must be why over on Frontier Unlocked, their official new Discord that replaced the old official forums, they've built this big shiny community hub that looks like it's supposed to be a place for open discussion. And inside it, they've got an entire channel devoted to player suggestions. Sounds great on paper, right? A place where players can pitch ideas, vote on what they want to see, and actually have a voice in the game's future. Things that they basically are trying to say that this meeting was about, except that's not what's really happening there. The devs and the decision makers aren't the ones looking through those posts. And if they are completely ignoring them, because nothing from that channel ever turns in a meaningful change. The only people combing through it are their moderators, and not the friendly community helper kind. These are the gatekeepers, the ones deleting comments, removing reactions, timing people out, and punishing anyone who dares to be critical of the company or the game. They do every single thing that they can to make it look like no one in the community is unhappy, that everyone's cheerful, positive, and totally thrilled with how things are going. The game is just so good there, right? There's no problems with it whatsoever. How dare anyone say otherwise, right? It's not a space for feedback, it's a space for control. Way to make players feel like they're being heard while quietly silencing anyone who isn't clapping loud enough. So yeah, don't tell me Frontier's listening, okay? They've built a system that looks transparent, but in reality, it's just a glass soundproof wall. We can see in, but they don't want to hear us. So yeah, the Spooky Pack, this could have been the easiest win of the year for them to make. Just bring back the original pack, polish it, maybe add a few new props, and release it in October. They've already did all the work designing all the props and scenery pieces from that set. All they had to do was have a couple of people go in, redo it for the new game. It wouldn't have taken very long, and it wouldn't have cost them that much. Instant hype, players would have gone nuts. Halloween builds would have been everywhere. YouTube, Reddit, social media, and it would have been free marketing for the game. It would have made the players happy. You are doing what you're saying you want to do. You are listening to the players and you're giving the players what they want. You are working on a game with us. Instead, we got a wizard pack in September, some mysterious creator hype meeting that told us nothing, and a Halloween contest without Halloween content. It's like they completely missed the season and the sentiment. And you know, that's what's so frustrating. I'm not saying any of this because I hate the game. I love Planet Coaster, the whole series, 1 and 2. I've poured hours into building parks, making videos, supporting the game. But here's the thing. I don't think the real problem is the developers. The people actually building the game, designing the rides, creating the art, fixing all the bugs, doing the coding work, all of that. They're trying to make it better. Those folks have done a fantastic job with what they've been giving. You can tell the creativity and the passion is there behind the scenes. No, I think the problem is the higher up you go. It's the leadership, the people making the actual decisions behind closed doors. Maybe it's the head of the company and his lackeys. Maybe it's the lead producer. Maybe it's some middle management yes man trying to keep the investors happy. I don't know exactly where it starts, but something is going on there, and whoever is calling the shots clearly doesn't understand the community or the long-term vision this game deserves. Or, in that matter, don't even really understand how to work with a community. The devs themselves can only do so much. They probably want to deliver content the players are asking for. They want to keep improving the game, but if the leadership at Frontier won't let them or keeps redirecting resources elsewhere, then their hands are tied. And really, whoever's responsible for the direction that this game is taking right now, they need to go. Because right now, it feels like the people making decisions are the ones dragging the whole project down. They are so disconnected from what we actually want. Instead, they're trying to tell us that 5 or 6 creators that they had at a meeting in private are supposed to be our ambassadors, that are supposed to speak for us. And that's not how that works. They aren't my ambassadors, and they probably are not yours either. With the release of Jurassic World Evolution 3, it's pretty clear where Frontier's focus is right now. The big creators are all playing that. Frontier's marketing it really hard. And Planet Coaster 2 feels like it's just being left behind. So that leaves us, the players, the builders, the fans, wondering what's next. What about us? Because at this point, it doesn't just feel like we're being ignored. It almost feels like we're being pushed away. Like they want us to stop asking questions, stop making noise, and just quietly move on to whatever game they make next. Are they trying to take this game, sweep it under the rug, and hope we forget about it so they don't have to invest any more money into fixing the mess that they created? You know, we just don't know. Because Frontier, they don't tell us anything. They've offered exactly one half-assed apology early on, back before the spring updates started rolling out. And since then, nothing. No transparency, no roadmap, no communication. But yet when you watch these videos from these creators at this meeting, that's what they're doing. They're talking about how Frontier wants to be transparent. But they are just not. And that's the biggest shame of it all. Because this game, it has so much potential. It could be something truly special if the people at the top would let the developers do what they do best and actually listening to the players who love it. You know, now, most likely, whatever they do next with the game, whatever the next DLC is, it's probably going to be pretty good. It's probably going to have some stuff in there that some of us have asked for and things like that. But it's not the same. It's not them listening to us. It's just them putting forth, just enough effort. Okay. Anyway, my rant is over for now. This is actually just the first video in a small mini-series I want to do where I talk about the frustrations surrounding Planet Coaster 2. Now recently, I asked my fan base here on YouTube what issues, gripes, and problems that they've been running into. And I plan to cover all of that in a couple of upcoming videos. So if you watch this and you feel the same way I do, or even if you just want to see a real conversation about where this game stands, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the follow-ups. And while you're here, let me know down in the comments, how do you feel about the current state of the game? What do you want them to fix next? What frustrates you the most? Because at the end of the day, this isn't just my rant, it's our conversation. The more voices we have, the harder we are to ignore. If you agree with me at any point in this, if you also feel like Frontier missed the boat by not giving us some sort of spooky DLC of some sort or a free update, then hit the thumbs up button. Maybe, just maybe, the algorithm will do what Frontier won't and actually listen to the community.